Take a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lung, and now release. I want you to connect with me in this very moment, because what we are about to begin isn't just a video, it's a portal to an understanding your soul has been searching for lifetimes. What if I told you that no one, absolutely no one who has ever crossed your path was there by accident? Just think about that for a second. That stranger who smiled at you on the day you were ready to give up. That love who shattered your heart into 1,000 pieces, leaving an ache you thought would never heal. That friend who held your hand in your darkest hour. Or even that boss, that co-worker, who seemed to test every last nerve you had. Have you ever wondered why? Why them? Why then? The answer is as simple as it is divine. They were sent. Every single one of them. They were messengers, soul contracts, signed long before you ever took your first breath on this earthly plane. Have you ever felt that energy, that unexplainable feeling of knowing someone you've just met, or the opposite, that instant gut feeling, that inner alarm bell telling you to be cautious? Does that resonate deep in your heart? If it does, know that you are not alone. You are a soul awakening, and you are just now beginning to read the secret language of the universe. I know how you feel. For years I walked through life feeling like I was in a hall of mirrors, seeing reflections of pain, joy, confusion, and love without understanding the source of any of it. I collected questions. Why did relationships that felt so perfect suddenly fall apart? Why did people I barely knew have such a profound impact on my life's direction? I felt like I was adrift in an ocean of random encounters, just searching for a lighthouse for some kind of explanation. My search led me to some deep places, to ancient texts, to silent meditations, to conversations with spiritual guides, who showed me that the chaos was actually a perfectly orchestrated cosmic dance. And the secret the universe revealed to me is something I have to share with you today, because I can feel that your soul is ready to hear it. The truth is, every encounter carries a frequency, a specific vibration, designed to activate something within you, a healing, a lesson, a new direction. And what you're about to discover in the next few minutes isn't just a theory, it's a key that will unlock the doors of your perception and allow you to look back at your past, not with pain or regret, but with a profound, soul-shaking gratitude. Think of a woman we'll call Clara. Clara went through a devastating divorce. The man she loved, the one she gave 7 years of her life to, left her for someone else. Her world collapsed. She felt abandoned, betrayed, worthless. For months, she cried. She questioned God. She asked, "Why me?" She saw her ex-husband as the villain, the source of all her suffering. But then something started to shift. In her solitude, she began doing things she hadn't done in years. She started painting, a childhood passion she had given up. She started hiking in nature, feeling the sun on her skin, hearing the birds sing. One day, sitting under a tree, she had an epiphany, a sacred revelation that hit her like a bolt of lightning. Her husband hadn't abandoned her. He had liberated her. He was the catalyst that forced her to find herself again, to rediscover the vibrant, creative woman she had buried under the expectations of her marriage. The pain of his departure was actually the labor pains of her own rebirth. He was sent. His mission, as painful as it was to push her back to herself. Can you see the divine beauty in that, the perfection behind the pain? If you're a seeker, if you've ever felt like Clara, lost in a why that has no answer, stay with me, because Clara's story is just the tip of the iceberg. The universe has so much more to reveal to you. We are about to dive deep into the 3 types of souls that are sent on your journey. I will teach you how to identify the mission of every person who crosses your path. And at the end, there is a shocking revelation, a truth about the most important encounter of all, the one that, once you understand it, aligns your entire soul's purpose. This could awaken your consciousness in a way you can't even imagine. This isn't an empty promise. This is a soul-to-soul promise. I'm not here as a guru or a master. I'm here as a fellow traveler, a cosmic mailman, delivering a message that already belongs to you, a message that's written on your heart. So take one more deep breath, and just allow yourself to receive. What you're about to discover will connect you to the divine in such an intimate way, you will never feel alone again. Are you ready to understand the sacred map of your life? Because the journey begins now. So you've taken that first step. You've opened the door to the possibility that your life isn't a series of random events, but a divinely guided story. And now that this door is open, we can begin to walk through it together. The energy you're feeling right now, that mix of curiosity and perhaps a little bit of trepidation, is completely normal. It's the feeling of your soul recognizing a long-forgotten truth. It's the hum of the universe saying, yes, to keep going. You're on the right path. Now, we're going to go deeper. We're going to explore the first of the three sacred messengers the universe sends your way. But before we do, I need you to bring someone to mind. Think of a person who came into your life for what felt like a fleeting moment, yet their impact rippled out and changed your entire trajectory. It could have been a teacher in high school who said one thing that stuck with you, a stranger you sat next to on a plane who gave you a piece of advice that you acted on, or even a short, intense friendship that ended as quickly as it began. Do you have someone in mind? Hold that person in your heart as we talk, because you're about to understand their true purpose. This first divine messenger is what I call the soul bridge. The soul bridge is one of the most beautiful and often misunderstood assignments in the cosmic plan. These souls are sent with a very specific, time-sensitive mission to get you from point A to point B on your spiritual map. They are the catalysts, the connectors, the divine shortcuts. Their purpose is not to stay, but to build a bridge for you to cross. Once you are safely on the other side, their work is done, and the energetic contract is complete. This is why these connections can feel so confusing. The intensity can be profound. You might feel an incredible pull, a sense of deep connection, making you believe this person will be in your life forever. And then, they're gone. The job offer they helped you get comes through, and you lose touch. The creative project. You collaborated on finishes and the dynamic shifts. The brief whirlwind romance that taught you how to love yourself ends, and they move on. For years, you might have looked back on these departures as failures, as abandonments. You might have asked yourself, what did I do wrong? But now I want to offer you a sacred revelation. You did nothing wrong. Their departure was not a rejection of you. It was the successful completion of their mission. They built the bridge, you walked across it, and they vanished because the bridge was no longer needed. Let me tell you about a man named Michael. Michael was an accountant, stuck in a job he hated. He felt his soul was slowly dying under fluorescent lights and spreadsheets. His dream was to be a chef. He had the passion, he had the talent, but he was paralyzed by fear. One evening, he reluctantly went to a dinner party and was seated next to a woman named Sarah. They talked for hours. Sarah wasn't a chef, she was a graphic designer, but she spoke with such passion about leaving her corporate job to start her own business. She didn't give him a plan or a loan. All she did was listen to his dream and say, "Your food sounds like art. The world needs more artists, not more accountants." That was it. They exchanged pleasantries and he never saw her again. But her words were the spark. That single sentence became his mantra. Within 3 months, Michael had enrolled in culinary school. Today, he owns a small, successful bistro. For a long time, he wondered about Sarah, this angel who appeared and disappeared. He didn't understand it then, but now he does. Sarah was his soul bridge. Her mission wasn't to be his friend or his partner. Her mission was to speak those exact words, to ignite the fuse, and then to let him walk across the bridge of his own. Courage. Does this resonate with your soul? Can you now look back at one of those fleeting, powerful figures in your own life and whisper, "Thank you for being my bridge"? The universe is infinitely intelligent. It knows exactly what you need, and when you need it. The soul bridge doesn't appear a moment too soon or a moment too late. They arrive precisely when you're standing at a crossroads, even if you don't consciously realize it. They are the answer to a prayer you might have only whispered in the quietest corners of your heart. And here's something else you need. To know a deeper layer to this mystery. Sometimes you are the soul bridge for someone else. Have you ever given a piece of advice to a near stranger that seemed to flow through you from a higher place? Have you ever felt an inexplicable urge to help someone, only to find that your small act of kindness completely changed their life? That is your soul fulfilling a sacred contract. It's one of the most selfless acts we can perform, to build a bridge for another and expect nothing in return, not even their continued presence in our lives. It's pure unconditional service. So as you move through your days, be open. Be aware the person you're speaking to in the grocery line, the new colleague at work, you never know whose point B you are the key to. You could be their Sarah. You could be their angel. But the universe has more to reveal to you, so much more. The soul bridge is just the first type of messenger. It's often the gentlest. The next one we will explore. This one is different. This next soul is sent to take you not to a new place, but into the deepest, darkest corners of yourself. It is the most challenging, the most painful, and without a doubt, the most transformative encounter you will ever experience. If the soul bridge is a gentle guide, this next soul is a spiritual wrecking ball, sent to demolish the false structures you've built around your heart so that your true self can finally emerge. What you are about to discover will likely explain the most difficult relationship of your life. It will shine a light on the source of your deepest triggers and your most persistent patterns. This revelation is not for the faint of heart, but if you've stayed with me this long, I know you are ready. You need this revelation because understanding it is the key to profound healing and liberation. Are you ready to meet the soul that was sent to be your mirror? Stay with me. The most intense part of our journey is about to begin. Breathe. Just for a moment, let the energy of that last revelation settle within you. The understanding of the soul bridge is a gentle balm, isn't it? It allows you to look back at certain goodbyes, not as losses, but as graceful conclusions. It brings peace, but now we must be brave. Because the path of spiritual evolution is not always peaceful. Sometimes to reach the light, we must be willing to walk through the fire. The next messenger the universe sends is not a gentle guide. This soul is a warrior, a catalyst of chaos, and their arrival in your life often feels less like a blessing and more like a curse. I'm talking about the soul that I call the soul mirror, or the karmic soul. And as I speak these words, I can almost guarantee that a face, a name, a memory is already surfacing in your mind. Who is it for you? That person who could push your buttons like no one else. The one whose presence in your life created a storm of emotion, of anger, of anxiety, of gut-wrenching pain. It could be a romantic partner in a turbulent, on-again, off-again relationship. It could be a parent with whom you've had a lifetime of conflict. It could be a friend whose betrayal cut you to the core. Does this resonate with your heart? That feeling of being locked in a painful dance with someone, repeating the same steps, the same arguments, the same heartbreaks over and over again. If you are nodding, if your heart is beating a little faster right now, know that this is a sacred moment of recognition. You have met your soul mirror, and the first thing your soul needs to hear is this: their purpose was never to destroy you. Their purpose was to show you where you were already broken. A soul mirror is sent to do one thing with ruthless precision: to reflect back to you every unhealed wound, every deep-seated fear, every shadow aspect of yourself that you have tried to deny, suppress, or run from. They are a living, breathing embodiment of your own inner work. The reason the dynamic is so explosive is because when you are with them, you are not actually fighting with them. You are fighting with yourself. The anger you feel towards them for being controlling. It's a mirror to the part of you that feels powerless. The frustration you feel at their emotional distance. It's a mirror to your own fear of intimacy, your own closed-off heart. The devastation you feel from their betrayal. It's a mirror to the ways in which you have betrayed your own intuition, your own truth, time and time again. This is one of the most difficult spiritual truths to accept, but it is the key to your freedom. They are not the source of the wound. They are simply the salt that makes you finally feel it. Let me tell you a story of transformation, the story of a man named David. David was a successful entrepreneur, but his personal life was a wreck. He had a pattern of dating women he called dramatic and needy. He would be swept up in a passionate romance, and inevitably it would end in a fiery explosion of arguments and accusations. He would always walk away saying, "See, I can't trust anyone. Everyone always wants too much from me. He saw himself as the victim, constantly attracting unstable partners. Then he met Jessica. Jessica was the ultimate soul mirror. She was his match in every way. Intelligent, ambitious, passionate. But the fights were epic. She mirrored his own stubbornness, his own need to be right, his own fear of vulnerability. One night, during a particularly vicious argument, she screamed at him, "You want to know what the problem is, David? You're a ghost. You're here, but you're not. You're so terrified of being abandoned that you leave first, emotionally, in 1,000 different ways, before anyone can get close to you." Her words hit him not like an attack, but like a divine bell of truth ringing through his entire being. He saw it. He saw his whole life flash before his eyes, his emotionally distant father, his deep-seated childhood fear of not being enough. Jessica wasn't the problem. She was the mirror reflecting the terrified little boy inside the successful man. That night was the beginning of his true healing. The relationship with Jessica didn't last, because it wasn't meant to. Her mission was complete. She was the sacred messenger sent to hold up the mirror so he could finally see himself. Have you ever had a moment like that? A moment where someone's words, however harsh, pierced through your defenses and revealed a truth you couldn't unsee. That is the gift of the soul mirror. It is a painful gift, wrapped in sandpaper and thorns, but it is a gift nonetheless. The universe, in its infinite love for you, knows that you cannot heal what you cannot see. And it will continue to send you the same mirror, in different faces, different bodies, until you finally stop blaming the reflection and start looking at the source. So I ask you with love and courage, who was your Jessica? Who was the person that forced you to confront the parts of yourself you kept hidden in the dark? And more importantly, what did they show you? What wound did they expose? You don't have to share it with anyone, but I invite you right now to acknowledge it, to yourself. To thank that person, not for the pain they caused, but for the healing they initiated. This is an act of profound spiritual maturity. It's the moment you stop being a victim of your story and become the alchemist of your healing. It's the moment you reclaim your power, but the universe has more to reveal to you. This journey into the heart of your connections is getting deeper, more profound. We've walked across the bridges and we've dared to look into the mirrors. We've navigated the fleeting and the fiery. But what comes next? What happens after the lessons and the healing? Is it all just a cycle of brief encounters and painful growth? No. There is another messenger, a third type of soul. This one is different. This connection isn't about getting you somewhere else, and it's not about showing you your wounds. It's about coming home. It's the soul that is sent not to challenge you, but to cherish you. The one who walks beside you, not as a catalyst, but as a companion. This next revelation is the one your heart has been longing for. It's the promise of peace after the storm, of rest after the journey. What you are about to discover will give you a new sense of hope and a deeper understanding of what true unconditional connection feels like. Are you ready to meet the soul that was sent to be your companion? Stay with me. The most beautiful part of our journey is just ahead. Take a slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, I want you to release the energy of the struggle. Let go of the memory of the battles, the fire, the reflections in that painful mirror. Allow a sense of peace to begin to wash over you. You have done the hard work. You have walked across the bridges. You have faced the mirrors. You have gathered the lessons. And the universe, in its perfect balance, always provides the reward for such courage. After the storm, there is always the calm. After the winter, there is always the spring. And after the karmic lessons, there is the arrival of a soul that feels like sunshine after a long rain. This is the third sacred messenger, the one our hearts yearn for, the one that makes the entire journey worthwhile. I call this soul the soul companion. And as I begin to describe this connection, I want you to open your heart. Let yourself feel for this energy in your own life. Who is it that comes to mind when you think of the word home? Who makes you feel seen, safe, and cherished exactly as you are? The soul companion is a divine gift. This is not a soul sent to teach you a harsh lesson or to push you onto a new path. This is a soul sent to walk the path with you. The energy of this connection is fundamentally different from the others. It's not marked by the fleeting intensity of the soul bridge or the turbulent magnetic pull of the soul mirror. Instead, its signature is peace. It's a quiet, steady, and deeply comforting presence. When you are with a soul companion, you feel like you can finally take off the armor. You don't have to pretend, you don't have to perform, you don't have to be anything other than who you are in that moment. They are your sanctuary in human form. And here is a sacred truth you need to understand. A soul companion can come in any form. We have been so conditioned by society to look for this connection only in a romantic partner, our soulmate. But that is such a limited view of love. A soul companion can be your best friend, the one you can call at 3 a.m. and they will just listen. It can be a sibling with whom you share an unspoken bond that transcends words. It can be a beloved pet whose unconditional love heals you every single day. It can even be a child whose wisdom and purity remind you of what truly matters. Does this resonate with your soul? Can you feel the warmth of this recognition spreading through you? Let me share a story of this beautiful connection, the story of two women, Maria and Lisa. They met in their 40s, both single mothers, both navigating the messy, beautiful chaos of raising children and rebuilding their lives. There was no dramatic spark, no instant earth-shattering event. It was a slow, gentle unfolding. They met at a school event, started talking, and found a comfort in each other's presence. They became each other's emergency contact, the person they called when a child was sick or when they just needed to vent after a long day. They celebrated small victories together, a promotion at work, a child's good report card. They held space for each other's tears, offering a cup of tea, and a listening ear without judgment or unsolicited advice. Their friendship was not about pushing each other or fixing each other. It was about witnessing each other. It was a partnership of souls. One day, Maria was having a particularly hard week. Everything felt like it was falling apart. Lisa simply came over, cleaned Maria's kitchen, and sat with her in silence. In that silence, Maria felt a wave of gratitude so profound it brought tears to her eyes. She realized that Lisa's love was one of the most stable, grounding forces in her life. Lisa was her soul companion, her anchor in the storm. Theirs wasn't a story for the movies, but it was a story of true, divine love. This is the energy of the soul companion. It's a love that is based not on need, but on mutual recognition. They see the light in you even when you can't see it yourself, and you do the same for them. A key sign that you are with a soul companion is that the relationship feels easy. Not boring, but easy. The communication flows. There is a foundation of trust and respect that doesn't have to be constantly tested or proven. You feel energized and expanded in their presence, not drained or diminished. They are your cheerleader, your confidant, and your safe harbor. And here is the most beautiful part. Soul companions often arrive in your life after you have done the hard work with your soul mirrors. They are the universe's way of saying, you learned the lesson. You healed the wound. Now you are ready for a love that doesn't hurt. You are ready for a love that nurtures. They are a reflection of the peace you have finally cultivated within yourself. You attract what you are, and when you become a safe harbor for yourself, you attract souls who want to anchor there with you. But now, we have arrived at the final doorway. We have met the bridge, the mirror, and the companion. You have the map. You can now look back at the cast of characters in your life and understand their sacred roles. But there is one final revelation, one more truth, and it is the most important one of all. It is the secret that ties all of this together. It is the master key that unlocks not just your relationships, but your entire spiritual purpose. What if I told you that all three of these souls, the bridge, the mirror, and the companion, are all activated by one single encounter? What if I told you that the most profound, life-altering meeting you will ever have is not with any of them? There is one relationship that dictates the quality of all the others. This final revelation is the pinnacle of our journey together. It is the truth your soul has been waiting to hear. It is the ultimate secret to conscious relationships and a life of purpose. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for the final, most sacred revelation of all? Stay with me for just a few moments. More. Your entire reality is about to shift. We stand now at the summit. Look back for a moment at the path we have traveled together. We've walked across the bridges that led us to new destinies. We've stood, trembling but brave, before the mirrors that showed us our deepest wounds. We've rested in the warm, safe embrace of the companions who walk beside us. You have been given the sacred archetypes, the energetic signatures of the souls the universe sends your way. It's a powerful map. But a map is useless if you don't know where you are standing. And that is the final, most transformative revelation of all. This is the secret that weaves everything together, the divine thread that runs through every encounter you have ever had or ever will have. The bridges, the mirrors, the companions, they are not sent to you at random. They are not assigned by some distant cosmic force. They are summoned. They are answers. They are responses to the single most important relationship in your entire existence, your relationship with yourself. The most critical, life-defining spiritual encounter you will ever have is not with a lover, a friend, or a guide. It is the encounter with your own soul. This is the ultimate truth. Let it sink into every cell of your being. You are the sun, and every person who enters your orbit is simply drawn in by your gravitational pull. They are reflecting your own light, your own shadows, your own frequency back to you. Think about it. The soul bridge only appears when some part of you, consciously or unconsciously, has decided, I am ready for what's next. You put out the call, and the universe sends the bridge builder. The soul mirror is only summoned when your soul cries out for healing. You cannot hide from yourself forever, and so your soul, in its infinite love for you, calls in the one person who can perfectly mirror the wound that is ready to be healed. They are the answer to your own inner prayer for wholeness. And the soul companion, they arrive when you have finally learned to be your own companion. They show up when you have learned to love your own company, to cherish your own heart, to be your own safe harbor. They are the beautiful, external manifestation of the inner peace you have fought so hard to create. Do you see? It was never about them. It was always, always, always about you. They were not sent to you, they were sent because of you. They are the echo of your own inner state. This revelation changes everything. It moves you from a passive role to the empowered, creative center of your own universe. You are no longer a victim of circumstance, helplessly reacting to the people who come and go. You are the conscious creator, the divine artist, painting your life's canvas with the colors of your own energy. Do you want to attract a different kind of love? Then become the love you wish to attract. Cultivate that love within yourself. First, do you want to stop meeting painful mirrors? Then have the courage to look in the mirror yourself every single day and do the inner work to heal what you find. Do you want to meet a guide, a bridge to your next chapter? Then get crystal clear on where you want to go. Set the intention. Your clarity is the call that summons the guide. This is the great secret of alchemy. This is how you turn the lead of painful relationships into the gold of conscious connection. It begins and ends with the sacred relationship you have with the divine being that is you. Your life is a conversation between your soul and the universe. The people who show up are simply the universe's side of the dialogue. What are you asking for? So what now? Where do you go from here? You leave this space today not with just information, but with an activation. The knowledge I have shared is a seed. Your job now is to water it. How? By turning your attention inward. I invite you to start a new practice. At the end of each day, instead of just thinking about your interactions, ask yourself a new set of questions. What did my encounters today reveal about my own inner state? Who was a bridge? Who was a mirror? Who was a companion, and what part of me called them in? This practice of self-inquiry will transform your life. It will turn every interaction, from the cashier at the store to your closest loved one, into an opportunity for spiritual growth. You will start to see the divine choreography in everything. You will walk through the world with a sense of wonder and gratitude, knowing that everyone you meet is a sacred messenger, a gift from your own soul to yourself. And the most beautiful part is, as you heal and grow, the messengers change. The mirrors become gentler, the bridges become clearer, and the companions become more plentiful. This is my call to action for you, my sacred call to your soul. If this message has resonated with you, if you felt that spark of recognition, that feeling of coming home to a truth you already knew, then your journey is just beginning. First, I ask you to honor this moment. Take a second to simply place a hand on your heart and say, "Thank you. I am ready to meet myself." Second, if you feel called, share this message. There is someone in your life who needs to hear this. Someone who is stuck in the pain of a soul mirror relationship. Someone who is grieving the departure of a soul bridge. By sharing this, you become a soul bridge for them. You become part of this beautiful web of awakening. And finally, I invite you to commit to this path. Subscribe and join our community of seekers, because we are all in this together, walking each other home. Now I want to hear from you. This is the most sacred part of our work together. In the comments below, I want you to share one thing. Which of the three souls has had the most profound impact on your life so far? The bridge, the mirror, or the companion? Your story matters. Your story is a medicine that can heal someone else, so share it with courage. Remember, the universe doesn't just send you people, it responds to the person you are becoming. Go forward and become the most beautiful version of yourself.